Gene lost 52 pounds, actually more, depending on what day you take his weight. He started at 182, so his BMI was about 27 at that point. Now it's about 20. That's one of the remarkable things about Gene's experience. Another one is, as you listen in this interview, you see he's at least as focused on his insulin resistance as he was on the weight. In fact, he sees the insulin resistance as the key to the weight loss, the diet that he used, and maybe even the weight gain. Gene's a very smart guy. He understands a lot of subtleties that most people don't pick up in this issue. But let's let Gene tell you his story.
It's good to have an opportunity to talk to you. And we've been friends for several years now. I am a patient of PrevMed, and it was March the 2nd of 2017. I had triple bypass surgery. Prior to that, I guess I don't know what my weight was on the day of the surgery, but leading up to that, I probably weighed around 182, 183. And that was, for me, for a person my size with my frame, was way too heavy. And so, yeah, I have lost a little over 50 pounds, 52, 53, and I weigh 128 pounds now. But that did not happen overnight. I'm coming up on, I guess, in 3 weeks or so, 3 weeks, it'll be a 2-year anniversary of that heart surgery. So right after that, you and I connected. I connected with you as a patient, and I just decided I'm going to get serious about this. I'm going to do what I need to do to, not only make the changes, because I think that was the key. The medicine helps, but it's really a lifestyle thing for me. So making those changes was really fundamental, not only to losing the weight, but to getting those values on the blood work and everything else, in line. I think I didn't understand forward. I think the thing that I would, the aha moment, it may have been when I was coming to your office for a consultation, or we were going to talk, and you mentioned that before we started, you mentioned that I was insulin resistant. And I'd heard that before, but it sounded so benign. It sounded like, so, okay, big deal. It doesn't sound like you have cancer, or you have diabetes, or you have, some awful malady. It's insulin resistant, right? And I thought, well, maybe that's that little bit of time you have out there before you become a type 2 diabetic. And I don't know that it's all that bad, until I decided then to learn more about what that meant. And then I realized that this long-term period of being insulin resistant, of not being judicious about what I was eating primarily, and how much I was moving and how I was moving, resulted in a lot of years of just these cumulative insults to the inside of my arteries. Yeah, it was a wake-up call, and then I learned more about what insulin resistance is and what we can do about it, and so I made a lot of changes. In fact, just recently, I went in for an annual physical. This was really an eye-opener in the sense that I requested that one of the tests that we run, for this physical would be an OGTT, that oral glucose tolerance test, that 2-hour uptake measure. Because that was I believe, Ford, you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that was maybe the diagnostic test that precipitated your comments to me about the problem I have. And my physician, who's a fine fellow, but I don't think really plugged into what you're talking about. This, I think there's a normalcy bias, right? And the normalcy is, well, you're getting older, and so what?
Right.
And yeah, that happens when you age, and your approach to it was a lot different. His calculus involved looking at my A1C levels, and if they were fine, I'm fine, and there would be no need for metformin or some of the other things that are part of managing an insulin-resistant. What happens when you flip into that, right? And how you dial it back. And so for the life of me, I could not get him to order the test, and I tried to I said, look, I'm the customer, right? Not so much. Anyhow, so for me, that was a real wake-up call, and that was the information that precipitated my desire to really make some changes, not some temporary ones, but some long-term ones. And so, I've been at this weight I am now, which is about 128 pounds, between 128 and 130. I've been here for, a year and a half, a little over a year. And so I lost that weight, kind of slowly over time. And, there's not a lot of magic here. There's just not. I think besides the diet changes and really seeing sugar as the enemy. Just really, sugar in any form. Maybe unless you're getting it from some fruit or something, is working against you in a lot of ways, particularly the way I used to consume it, which was with Dr. Peppers and whatever I felt like eating. And so that, and I think what really moved the needle too was just the exercise. And I'm not out there running half marathons. I'm not, I walk a lot. I run a little, and I do some resistance work. I do some work with weights. I have a Stairmaster. I get on it very regularly. So, those are just some changes I made. And you prescribed a medication called metformin. I take it twice a day. I think if you're, again, I'm not a medical person, but I'm surprised they don't put it in the drinking water, actually. All you've done to help me find this pathway, to help me understand how serious this all is, and also help me understand, here's the pathway, here's the way out, here's what you can do. And me getting enough serious about, some of those conversations we've had and making some lifestyle changes.
You could not have thanked me any better than you have with that, with the changes you've made.
No, thank you.
Thank you, Gene. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.